Our podcast show is ending, but it's not for the reason that you think. More on that later. But first, we want to help you with something that I'm sure that a lot of you out there might be struggling with, and that's the holiday season. This is probably the first week of shopping that you might be attempting. I know that you probably shop for yourselves on Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday, yeah.
Some of you smarter people might have picked out gifts for others on sale. But for the majority of people, you're probably still looking. And because of that, and because a lot of you might have some techie, gadget-oriented people, we're not going to do a gift guide.
No.
The reason why we're not going to do a gift guide is because every year you look at these gift guides, and chances are some of the items, they're probably wrong. They will probably be, the next question after getting it will be, do you have a gift receipt?
You're going to get a refund.
Yeah, can I get a refund? Well, maybe what we should be doing, instead of giving you items that might work for your loved one or friend, maybe we should just be a little bit more selfish.
Yeah.
So Winston and I have a number of things that are on our wish list.
Yeah.
And because we can justify our need and our wants for these items, maybe that'll help you crack into the psychology of the people that you are shopping for the most. Because the journey counts, the thought counts, but getting it right is even more important.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a range of different things that myself and Winston wants, both in dollar value and also in utility and actual need, because we're going to be justifying why we need these things.
Right.
So Winston and I are going to do a bit of a round robin. We're going to have 5 rounds of gifts that we selfishly want.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you about them. We're going to tell you why we want them. And most importantly, hopefully some of this information will help you match up. Maybe our personas might be similar to someone that you're shopping for already, because most geeks and nerds, we're relatively the same. And because some of you might be going to a Best Buy or some electronics retailer, chances are the person that you're buying for knows more than the shop employee.
Yeah, usually.
Most of the time. Most of the time. Okay. So that's where we're coming from. Hope this helps you out. Let's start with round number 1. So I'll kick things off.
Yeah, what have we got?
One of the most selfish things that I want, I've mentioned this before. In other guides, I've mentioned this a couple times, but my gift on the top of my list, and let me preface, this is the reason why. I carry a phone.
Yes, you do.
I've broken that phone before.
Many times.
Right? But the phone is more important than anything else in my pocket. It is also the best camera that I own because it's the camera that I have. And they take beautiful pictures, amazing pictures.
Food pictures.
Yeah, it's incredible. Food pictures. Yeah, it is incredible. So, if I break that phone, if I drop it off a bridge, taking a killer shot, I am upset. Very, very, very upset.
Especially if you can't get the replacement phone.
That's right. So what do I do? Well, one of the things on my list is I believe is a need, and I need a DJI Osmo Pocket 3.
I've seen them. They're very nice.
And this is a tiny little gimbal on a stick, basically. It has a rotating screen that goes from portrait to landscape, just like your phone does. So it does the portrait and the landscape type photos and videos. Because it has a gimbal on top of it, you can run around with it and it'll give you the smoothest possible images.
It's a gimbal with a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most importantly, the size and the way that it boots up and how quickly it does that reminds you exactly of how your phone usually works, because it's the first thing that you reach for when you want to do a food shot. This will act exactly the same way for you as a separate camera device that doesn't have a protruding lens, that doesn't look like this, when you take your photos. It is just more, to me, it's like the size of a remote control.
It's a remote control size.
Like an Amazon Alexa remote control.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's about that size. It just has a little protrusion on the end. And it's great. If you buy the creator kit, they include a bunch of filters and everything for your creativity, a case and charger and extension grip and everything like that. That's the one I would recommend at around $900 or so. Canadian, right?
It's $1,000.
It's about $1,000, but totally worth it because imagine if you lost $1,000 phone, how much worse that would be. And this takes better pictures, better video because it has a gimbal and it has a 1-inch CMOS sensor which eats light.
That's really big.
You can go up to 16,000 ISO on this thing.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
16,000 ISO. That's almost like that's borderline night photography, but it's actually usable in some of the samples that I've seen. But of course, most of the time you'll be at lower ISOs, getting less noise and a beautiful image. The filters and everything, they snap on with a magnet. You can do a lot of really creative things. But one of the things that I love the most about having a rotating gimbal is the fact that you can do those parallax shots where you're just kind of pushing in and the whole world's rotating. You can't do that with your phone. You can barely even do that if you had a gimbal for your mobile phone.
Yeah, it's because your phone is it's a square rectangular thing. Yeah,
it's heavy. It's big. So keep your phone in your pocket. Get a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I know that if someone bought me one, I would love them.
What's the resolution on that?
Anywhere between 4K 30, 60, and 120 FPS frames per second.
Does it do also like
still images?
Still images? Yeah. Okay.
I think it's somewhere in the 5 or 8, but higher quality with a bigger sensor. Right. So it's kind of like some of the cinema cameras have fewer pixels, but because they eat light, the image looks super clean.
Nice.
So that's kind of the principle behind the DJI. One of the things that you're also going to need with it is, of course, a Kingston memory card because they're on the quality verified list. So all of their Canvas Go selects and also reacts, the higher end cards, go up to 512 gigabytes. They're actually on the list. Now, if Kingston goes out of their way to work with DJI to support these, then you know they're going to work 100%. And, in case you didn't know and you haven't been watching the rest of the season, Kingston is actually one of our sponsors, but they just so happen to be on the list. I just wanted to make sure that was pointed out because they also sell cards that are a really good value with 24/7 tech support.
They do all sorts, like for photography, for dash cams and things like that. So these ones, like I said, the React, is that right?
React and also the Plus, all compatible. You can check out on the DJI Pocket Osmo 3 product page, and also you can check out the Kingston page as well too for additional compatibility as well too. So that is my most selfish item. This is the one I want. If someone gave me this tomorrow, I would die.
You would like have hours and days of fun with it.
Yeah, and the app and the way that it works with your phone is the most important part. Seamlessly transfer your images and your data back and forth so that you can edit it with your on-phone editing software. So that's the most important part. Keep your smartphone out of danger. Get the best possible images and video.
True.
What about you, Winston?
Well, I wanted a new camera because my current Sony A6400 is like 5-6 years old. It's showing its age. It's done a lot for us, right, over the last like 4 or 5 years. So I'm after a Sony ZV-E1. Now, this camera is the ultimate vlogging camera, okay? You've seen the others. I think they got another one called E10 and the other ones. But this one does full frame. 35mm full frame camera, 4,240 by 2,832 sensors. It's huge. 12 megapixels. ISO going up to all the way to 100,000 plus. It's crazy, right? Superb like photography and all that, low light and everything. Stable image stabilization built in. That's a part of the expensive range. Because this one that I'm using doesn't have one.
What does it have?
The image stabilization, like in the camera.
I turned it off.
Oh, you turned it off?
It does.
I don't think this has.
It has.
It has?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I didn't know that. I thought only on the more expensive models they have that.
I'm a Sony shooter, so I'm taking away one of the reasons why he wants it. The A6400, A6500, all these cameras actually do have image stabilization, the quality of which is better in higher end cameras. But because Winston still has a kit lens, I believe that maybe he should be upgrading his lens to one
As
with
well.
image stabilization.
Yeah.
So then you have in-body and also external image stabilization that work together to
works
give you a better
together.
image.
Ah, right. There we go. Something
Continue, Winston. But I think you don't need this. But, you know, you can prove me wrong.
I'm selfish. I'm selfish.
Prove me wrong.
Right. Well, there's all that raw stuff as well, you know, HD, you know, 4K, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. He has the new SHUD2 slot for high-speed SD SD, you know, cards. Something I need because I need more faster speeds transfer. Not on the camera, but like coming on off the camera, SD card onto my computer. I need fast data transfer.
Okay.
You know, mic in and audio out, so that helps with monitoring audio and things like that. Built-in Wi-Fi and USB 3.2 Gen 2x2. This camera has that as well.
Better than the iPhone 15.
Yeah, so it might be an overkill, but I so want it though because it has the articulated screen, like you get with these, you know, Canon.
So it flips out from the side.
Yeah, I like that.
Because you have an articulating screen here as well,
But
too.
it's flipping up. I don't like that.
You know we're supposed to take the piss out of each other when we justify these things, right? Yeah. Because I know you didn't take the piss out of me for the Pocket because you want one too.
I want one too, yeah.
Yeah. So...
But I just wanted the new camera because I think, you know, there are other models, A7C and I don't know about the other ones, 3R and all that kind of stuff. But this one is just, it looks so good. It comes in white.
Okay, fair. So this is something you want. It's not something you need because 90% of all the things are already in the camera at varying degrees.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna use this as a spare camera, as a emergency camera. I suppose I could put that as a spare, but I'll probably use it as a webcam, high def webcam.
Sure,
it works nice.
Well,
so that's that. Body alone is 2,200. That's US, but Canadian is like 3,400. I was like, what the fuck? Just for the body, and I need to get a full frame lens. Is that what you're saying?
You need a full frame lens.
Yeah, and that's another how much? 1,000?
No,
more than that.
More.
Oh God,
more. So let me take the piss out of you here for that. Remember episode 1 of season 6? How it looks?
Yeah,
that lens in front of that camera is a $1,600 lens.
You have a $1,600 lens on
this camera
right now,
right? So the difference between this podcast and podcast number 1 of the season, looks dramatically different because of just a lens change. This also has image stabilization built into it.
Oh,
you should be focusing on the lenses. There is a thing in cameras: marry the lenses, not the body.
Oh, so the lens is more important in terms of the image.
If you bought into the system, buy lenses. Now, having said that, though, if you're buying for somebody that is selfish about cameras, chances are they've probably done a whole ton of research on the lenses that they want and the camera bodies that they want. And they also have a bunch of accessories that they probably have on their own wish list. If you can have a glimpse of that wish list, that's the only chance that you have to buy something that they want, because camera geeks are camera geeks for a reason.
Yeah. Right? I'm not there yet. I just wanted something new because I saw a white camera and it says it's the ultimate vlogging camera. It looked nice. I didn't realize that you need like super expensive lenses and stuff like that. But
you don't have to buy this camera. You can buy the one that has the lens built in. I think it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's cheaper. That's
ZV something.
Yeah, it's about 1,004 or 5, something like that, with the lens built in.
So if you have a little vlogger at home, I guess, maybe get them something that's a little bit more modest.
Yeah.
I still think this is really overkill. You don't really need this. Like that camera, the A6400, does most of this already.
Oh, okay.
You know,
in that case, then
buy a lens. Buy a lens.
It's just a lens. I'll probably get.
Yeah. On lenses, in case you don't know, if you are going to buy a lens, Sigmas don't have image stabilization built in for most of the lenses that you want. Their full frame. You're going to want to buy a Sony lens because Sony G Master lenses, which are the expensive ones, all have image stabilization built in.
And the starting range price?
Probably $2,000 and up. And then the Zeiss lenses also have image stabilization. They're a little bit less money, but still, you're going to have to pay through the nose for that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Marry the lenses, not the body for cameras.
Right, there you go. There's some advice there.
Did I take the piss out of you enough?
Oh yeah, that's good because I'm not a camera geek or anything like that. I just found this camera. It looked good. It's expensive. I want it.
This is, I would say, this is if you're buying for a camera geek, this is gift card territory. Just give them the money and they'll spend it the best that they can. Yeah, they'll buy that $2,200 lens even if you give them like a $200 donation.
That's true. That's true.
They'll figure out the way to do it.
If they give me a like I said, a gift card, value, whatever, I'll probably go for a lens actually. But if I had to buy it myself, then I'll, you know.
I know this isn't a camera guide, but one of the things that most camera shops do, the really good ones, are they do take trade-ins. They do work with, even if they don't do trade-ins, they work with places like KEH that actually do appraisals and will buy your product and will put them on their own store for used market. So you can get something immediately back for that. Plus, if you buy with a trade-in, if you bought a $1,000 camera and your trade-in was worth $500, you would only be paying the tax on the $500 difference.
Oh, right.
So keep that in mind as somebody who has done this in the past to get better camera gear. If your camera geek wants to trade in a lens and you give them, the $200, $250 as a kind of a donation, they'll trade in their lens and they'll use your money to help that upgrade out. So you're doing them a favor.
Okay.
There you
go. Something to know.
Okay.
All right. Well,
sorry.
Okay, round 2. What have you got for round 2?
Oh, round 2. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
One of the most important things that keep you on the road is not just your car. It's actually the things attached to the 4 wheels.
Oh, those rubber things.
Those rubber bands, right? Those rubber bands are very, very, very important, and they keep your tires on the road. We learned a lot from Cal Tire during the winter tire episode that we had out. Episode number, I believe it's 70.
I think it was 70.
70. And that has a lot of education into it. You should check it out if you're a bit more of a tire geek. But for most intents and purposes, people are riding around probably on tires that they don't even know are worn out, right?
Well, you just found out.
I knew they were worn out for a little while. I do have an appointment on Friday with Cal Tire to put new ones on.
Okay.
But besides the point, most people will use their non-winter tires. There's 3-season tires, their summer tires more than anything else. And most of the time, they're almost bald, and you don't even notice it because when you're riding on, like dry pavement, dry conditions, and this is not people that are in the lower mainland.
Yeah.
Where we're wet all the time.
It's snowing up there right now.
It's snowing in some places. And you know what? If you don't have tread on your tires, it won't help you from getting away from an aquaplane situation because all those channels inside the tires help you with that. The tread helps you corner. And also in a lot of cases, when you are coming to an emergency stop, a good tire of any kind will stop much shorter than anything else.
Right.
I know this isn't, and then that way you avoid getting into an accident because we all want to avoid accidents at all costs.
Right.
So my pick is if someone gifted me either another set of Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus tires, which are an ultra high performance tire, or the Michelin equivalent, the Michelin Pilot Sport AS5s, I would love them.
Okay. Tell me how much are they? It like the cost for those versus the like normal tires.
Well, you can pick up tires for probably as low as $125. They exist out there.
For
each corner.
Each corner,
right? The tires that I'm talking about probably in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 each tire. But your insurance premiums will go up if you get into an accident. That's your own damn fault. Right? If you rear end the car.
But if you have these tires on,
you'll stop short,
and you will save yourself.
You corner better. You have more confidence behind the wheel, and in the rain, even if you're in the rain, huge puddles. These kinds of tires, the ultra high performance all season tires, they feel like you're driving in the dry most of the time. They give you that confidence.
So you $300 per tire, 4 tires, $1,200, right? So with the $1,200 investment. Installation plus tax and all that. Is that investment? It's going to last you how many years?
Depending on how you drive,
right? It
could last you 3-4 years. It could last you 2 years, and if you take them to a track, it might last you 1 session.
Right, track different. Okay,
right. So different needs. This is meant to be an ultra high performance passenger tire. They work on cars and SUVs. They have versions for that as well too. But they just make it driving such joy. They bring joy. They bring pleasure. They help out with the ride quality. and they prevent you from getting into
safety.
an accident.
Yeah, and
the safety aspect.
Yeah, so I've been in cars where I'm not sure what the status of the tire is, but I've been in cars where the driver, I know is a friend of mine, he's been driving. I know he's good at driving. However, when he does drive, I just feel unsafe because it's just the way he corners or whether he does a late brake and stuff like that. It just feels so, But when you have good tires, it can actually make you feel the ride. You feel much safer. It doesn't matter if you just do like sharp turns or brake late because the tires does help you with.
There's only 4 patches of tiny rubber attaching you to the road. They need to be good. They also need to be, because it's not just straight line back and forth, they need to be able to operate off axis. So all of that engineering needs to be from all angles of that patch of rubber, right? Cheaper tires are not going to have that type of engineering or the type of rubber compound to deform under braking pressure and stress. A Michelin and a Continental will do the R&D with a computer and AI to figure out how these patches move and motion to keep you from sliding sideways, or at the very least, control the slide so that you can get out of a situation that you don't want to be in, like an emergency stop in a corner, or a moose comes out in the middle of the road and you have to turn around it. The moose turn. You can't. If you can avoid that, great. Your tires help a lot to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I want a set of tires. But having said that, though, these are expensive tires. Any upgrade tire, any better tire for any passenger vehicle would be an upgrade for anyone. So if you see tires balding and maybe the person really doesn't care about their tires, but you care about their safety, you can drive their car out and put some new tires on. Doesn't have to be these 2. My quick picks, because if it's someone that just drives the car, there's 3 tires on my list.
Right.
For starters, Nokian 1. This is a tire that was engineered for North America's really kind of crappy roads. I mean, I've seen the roads in Italy and in Europe and stuff like that. They are beautiful. They are so well maintained. But here we got huge potholes. We have interstates that kind of like they have grooves in the middle. They're just not well taken care of. So one of the tires that the Finnish put together was the Nokian 1. They come in a range of sizes for SUV and also for cars. This particular tire sells for under $200. Has a high, I think it's like an 80,000 kilometer, 100,000 kilometer warranty for wear. And it has aramid fibers, almost like a Kevlar in the casing, so that in case you hit a pothole, it's not going to hurt the tire as much.
Right.
Okay, so that's a good upgrade. 2 other things: if you're someone that doesn't like to change tires, and maybe you're looking at the tires on someone's car that you love very much, and they don't want to take it to the shop, they want to do anything with it, put on either of these. Nokian WRG4 is a all-weather tire. We learned about this in their winter tire episode, episode 70.
That's true.
This is a good mix between someone that doesn't need to swap winter tires. It can be worn all year round. It has the engineering and capability to do that. Lower tire wear warranty, probably in the 80 to 60,000 range, but still under $200 a corner for most vehicles, depending on the size that you need. Some sizes, obviously, the bigger the tire, the more expensive it'll be. One of the major favorites out there, and it's weird that I'm recommending tires, but they're so important, is the Michelin Cross Climate 2. This is one of the best wet weather tires out there. It's phenomenal in the wet. It's phenomenal in the snow for a non-winter tire. If you have someone that drives an SUV or a car and they don't really do maintenance to their car, you've never seen them take it to the shop unless they've got like the 5th voicemail or the 5th service bulletin, chances are their tires, look at their tires, just drive it up to a Cal Tire, check the tires. Any of these options would be fantastic for them. And you know what? Knowing that they're out there with 4 patches of rubber that are safer, that they'll improve their handling and that'll keep them out of danger, you're going to feel better too. You've done something good for someone else if you can afford that. It's at least $1,000 to get, probably $800 to $1,000 for a good set of tires.
That's true. Safety is paramount, so especially if you're driving, I definitely go for something that you can afford. Depends on your budget, and if you're on like in the snow, up the mountains, stuff like that, especially in BC.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not in the city center, then yeah, definitely change
Rain,
winter
even
tires.
specifically rain.
Yeah.
A tire with tread on it will keep you out of trouble.
True.
So
True.
I know this is a bit of a boring gift because people are like, tires? Why would I need 4 tires? Like, how am I going to put that under the tree? Well, put a bow on the car and have them look at the wheels.
They probably think, oh, I got a new car. No, darling,
you got new
have new
tires.
tires. There's your gift
Super
for
practical.
Christmas.
Winston, what about you?
Okay, I do a lot of like filming and vlogging and stuff like that, and I need something like a bit portable to do my recording because audio makes a hell of a difference. Especially if you're using your camera phone as well, the audio sucks on the camera phone. The volume is really low. It's all crackly. It doesn't have that definition as well. So the best thing to do is get some wireless lavalier mics, and the ones I've seen is the Rode Wireless Go 2, right? They're different flavors. The Rode Wireless Go Me and the other one's called Pro, right?
Yep.
But the version 2 lavalier mics works seamlessly with the Rodecaster that you have there. And also I recently got the Streamer X, which is my streaming console for video and audio, which is great.
That as well too.
Yeah, works that as well, and it's great for recording on a go, hands free. And it's great if you get the 3-piece set because I can have the mic, you can have the mic, and also the receiver then goes into the phone or the recording device.
And I own those.
Yeah. So it does that as well. It's great and really good audio recording quality, which makes a hell of a difference. And the volume you can pump up so that the audio is crystal clear. It hasn't got that crackling noise. It hasn't got that background noise. That really annoying noise, that buzzing noise. Perfect for reels and shorts for people who does a lot of vlogging and things like that. Okay, so 2-piece set, which is just the receiver and the transmitter, is around about 269 Canadian, right? For the 3-piece set, 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, that's 380. And the Pro version, which you said something special about it? It's got that recording
the
mode.
Pro version is actually a completely different beast.
Yeah.
It's not in the same league.
Right. And that's a little bit more pricey. That's like 500 and something.
It's $599, but there's a reason for that.
Okay.
It's 2 features that stand out is the fact that one has 32-bit float recording, which is basically if you can kind of compare it to raw photography where you have a lot of latitude in rescuing an image. Even if it's a bad raw, you can usually edit your way out of it.
Yeah.
32-bit is basically the raw of audio. So even if someone's talking really, really, really quiet, you could boost that up with not a lot of degradation, or you can bring down their levels when they're too high.
Yeah.
And make sure that all the fidelity is still taken care of. So it is a pretty amazing feature for people who need it. But for most intents and purposes, the Go 2 is actually a fantastic value for what you get.
Yeah.
One thing that I do need to point out about it is that the Go 2 has had a number of software upgrades. Normally, I would not recommend buying a product based on the promise of future software upgrades because that's just not a good thing. It's like finding out that the BIOS on a motherboard or your phone is no longer going to be updated, even though they promised. Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But one of the latest features, if you do buy a current Go 2, is that it does have a feature that if you are using it with a camera, it has these profiles that will set your mics, set your wireless Go setup to that microphone's gain.
Okay.
So that out of the box, it'll work properly. It's a profile built in. So that's actually a really nice feature.
Yeah. A good thing about these is that you can actually connect up to any recording device, whether it's a phone, whether it's a camera, and you can buy an extension like a mic.
Yeah,
extension.
You can make those with a wooden spoon if you wanted to.
You could just use it as a mic.
You can really do that, actually. But they do sell a piece of plastic on a pole that basically makes it look a little bit more professional. Yeah. I've seen those around.
They're quite nice. I like that.
Yeah.
So that's on my wish list. I think actually I'm going to go get it actually this Christmas.
It's a good value. It's a good buy for what you're getting. I've used them professionally for a very long time. The microphone, they don't come with lavalier mics. Some packages, you have to buy your own.
Yeah.
So pick out, buy the set because they have...
It's a square thing, isn't it?
Yes. And then buy a lavalier microphone, a separate microphone. These are the ones that curl up, that have the little pin that clip to you, the lapel mics. You're going to want another set of those. Rode does make a couple options, but if you want some really expensive ones, you can also buy Sennheiser or Sanken. A lot of those really high-end versions can be anywhere between a couple $100 to $1,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they do. Expensive.
So another rabbit hole.
All right. Okay, round 3. What have you got for round 3?
All I want for Christmas is a clean house.
He's got 3 kids.
Yeah. Clean, a pet, and a not so clean partner.
Right.
But anyhow, and a pet. Did I say pet? Yeah, I have a pet. He pees.
Everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere.
Okay.
So one of the things that has always been on the top of my list, every time that I see a massive upgrade in the technology, I want it. And this is in the realm of robot vacuums. Now, robot vacuums have come a very, very long way. They used to bump around and hit things and knock things on the ground. You might see them curled up or tangled up in your curtains and cables and whatnot. That sucks, right? And that's why a lot of people didn't want them, because they don't finish the job.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Do they actually work?
They do work if you tidy up after yourself, right? So you have to have crap all over the place.
Yeah.
Most conventional robots don't know what to do with that. They'll just crash into it or suck it up.
And with today's new technology and new software, are these ones better now? Tell me more about that one.
Well, a couple of years ago, iRobot, which is one of the leaders in the space, they created technology called poop detection technology, because a lot of memes on TikTok and Instagram, they show pet owners with these self-emptying vacuums that would, save the world, suck up animal fur and dander and whatnot. But if Fido or your cat poos on the ground, it would actually take all that material and deposit it throughout your home. Okay?
Spread it
everywhere, okay? Biohazard scenario, okay? Nowadays, iRobot has introduced this poop detection based on their new Robot OS, which is a great feature. It actually makes it a better extended. It's like a complete re-engineering of their software so that it becomes smarter. There's AI involved, et cetera, right? So the latest iRobot, called the iRobot J9 Plus, this robot not only vacuums, but it also mops, and it docks itself into a self-emptying, self-filling bin that has 30 days worth of water and also 30 days worth of dumps. Okay? But that's not what makes it good. A lot of these robots from overseas, they will do those two things as well. But one of the things that iRobot does extremely well is avoid obstacles.
Okay.
So that means that if it sees poop on the ground, it's going to avoid that poop. If it sees cables, if it sees obstacles, it'll go around them.
How does it see it? It's got
sees it using robot AI vision. It has a camera in the front of it.
Oh, camera.
And sensors all around it. So if it sees it, it detects it, it'll give it a wide berth. It doesn't mean that it's removing it from the map. It just removed that for that one session because it's already mapped out your home.
Okay.
And it knows to avoid that for now. So it knows that you're a slob. It's just trying to clean around the pieces that are going to, at least help your house a little bit. Once you clean up those things, the next time it goes out, and you can set these things on a schedule. You can also set them to clean at certain intervals where after dinner, it only cleans around the dining room. So it's not doing the entire house all the time. It's very smart that way. It'll also suggest zones that have come up to say, hey, this zone is really, really dirty almost all the time. We recommend you set up a zone and actually set this up as an individual schedule every day rather than cleaning the whole freaking house.
Right.
Because then that way you cut down the amount of wear and tear. You can extend the interval between you changing out the garbage bag that comes inside this docking station or the number of times you need to refill the liquid that's inside there. It uses a cleaning solution, right?
Okay.
So super, super smart system that'll help any busy household just stay a little bit tidier, especially if you are in the winter and you live somewhere where mice can infest a home. They're only looking for food. If you feed them, they will come, right? So if you keep the food off the ground, mice will not want your house. They'll go to your neighbor's house instead. Okay.
True.
Now, the price of this and
tell me.
I think it's worth it. But it's anywhere between, depending on the sales that you get, MSRP is at $17.99.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. But think about all the effort that it takes to grab the vacuum the house, empty the vacuum, all those things. You don't want to do it, right? Things that you don't want to do, there's no price around it, right? But you still need to keep your house tidy so that mice don't come in and destroy your house.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like the motors and the bristles, do they need to get changed or do they serviced and stuff like that?
You need to maintain them based on the list. The robot is actually smart enough to diagnose itself and tell you.
Oh, right. It's got a self-diagnosis. Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, it needs to be charged every day, right? So does it automatically go back to the dock?
It goes back to the dock. That's why it's smart.
Oh, it's smart. Okay.
That's why older robots, you'd find it stuck somewhere and the battery's gone.
Yeah, and you have to bring it up and then you have to put it back into the dock to charge it.
This robot for $17.99 doesn't need you.
You just need to switch it on.
It doesn't even need you for that. You schedule it, it's going to do its job every day.
Oh, right. So it's scheduled and then you just, it's like a smart home device, right?
It's connected to Alexa. You can even ask it to clean your dining room.
Oh, you say, Alexa,
right? Ask iRobot to clean your dining room. Did I just do that? I'm sorry. Ask a smart home assistant to ask iRobot to clean your dining room.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. Okay. So it works that way. That's pretty cool.
So it works that way. So for $17.99, it's expensive, but there are payment plans available for iRobot. It's also this holiday season, it's on for $13.99, limited offer.
All right. So could you buy it at Best Buy or is it online only?
You can buy direct from iRobot, and I think that's the best way to do it. But you can definitely go into a store and see a demo at Best Buy. You can see it at other retailers as well too.
Right.
I think some of the other home places like Bed Bath & Beyond, places like that are still open. You can go in and have a look.
Right.
For sure. They may not have a full demo, but they'll at least have it there for you to touch and feel. Yeah. But iRobot does do a full, I think it's like a 30-day satisfaction. You bring it into the house, you set it up. If you don't like it, they'll take it back.
I've seen one of those working before, not this iRobot, but I've seen some other brand. Not here. It was back in Hong Kong where we had an office. Yeah, and because the office space is quite big, and it's quite expensive to have a cleaner come in every day. Yeah. So we do have a cleaner comes in like once a week. So, but the rest of the week then it's by yourself. So instead, we got this robot. Well, the friends did anyway, and this robot similar to that, that spins around and cleans it. It turns out to be quite good because you just set it and then. Once it's set, it just does the thing all around the room. And by the end of the cleaning session, it goes back to the dock, and stuff like that. So if you have a nice big place that needs that kind of cleaning, then I think one of these is pretty good.
Yeah, and if it runs out of battery, it'll go back to the dock, it'll charge itself and continue it based on where it left off. The other thing, too, is that your office doesn't have poop on the ground or people chucking stuff everywhere. So most robots will do the job, but if you have a home where you put your clothes on the ground, your stuffed animals and everything, it'll avoid all that and it'll come back to the dock and charge itself. This is the difference. This is a device that's built for humans. That have messy rooms. This is kind of the change in iRobot where they are relying more on something that's more built for humans.
Yeah, I like the fact that if it's running low on power, it'll go back to the dock to charge itself. And then once it's fully charged, it'll go back to where it left off and start cleaning again.
This is not a new thing. This has been around for the last few years. Like I have one of the original iRobots and it's still running, but it's missing a lot of the things that the smarter versions of it do. And this is iteration through a number of years, but the latest version is definitely the best of breed. It does all this stuff. It avoids your dog poo. Hopefully there will be no more memes about it because they've learned their lesson. iRobot has taken all the feedback and put it into this. And with a satisfaction guarantee, you could buy it into your home. You can invite it into your home. You can set it up. And if it doesn't work for you, you send it back. No big deal.
That's true.
Right?
True.
How about you? What's next?
I like the outdoors. So I've always wanted a e-bike or an e-scooter. That's right. Yeah. There's these new ones coming up now. And I think, I want something that could do anything between 15 to 20 miles or 25 miles an hour. I don't want anything too fast because then it could be, especially if you have kids and that they want to go on that and stuff like that.
You also need a motorcycle license at a certain speed in Canada.
Okay.
And in BC in particular.
But I think 15 to 20 is okay, right?
15 to 20 is okay. Once it gets over that, you have to get a license for it.
That's why I wanted that range, is that I don't want to get that license. I just want to get something that I can play around in the backyard and stuff like that. Or maybe just along
Please check your local restrictions, because there were different rules. And if you have a scooter or some sort of device that is not a two-wheel bicycle, you may get a fine because you're not allowed to ride it in certain jurisdictions. So make sure you have a look at that first.
Check that first. But I always wanted an e-bike or an e-scooter, 15 to 20 miles an hour. I want something long range, like 30 to 50 mile range. I think that's doable. Of course, I want something that can be charged easily at home. So I don't need any like the car chargers, right? EV chargers where they have a high voltage. Something that I would charge at home. But of course, I've heard some horror stories where the batteries explode.
They
so get an e-bike or an e-scooter that is reputable and of course has a good history and of something that's local. I think there's a couple of Canadian companies that does e-scooters and stuff like that. Check out their catalog range and stuff like that. Check out their safety records. That's all good. But I also want it to be lightweight and foldable. So for example, if I needed to take it out, outdoors, I'll put it in my car, foldable, stuff like that. So I can then, go out and just, hop it on and things like that. Price range, between 1,000 to 1,005 Canadian, roughly around there. I think you can get one at that price.
I think that's about the good price range. A couple things on this, because I happen to have some experience with scooters. One thing that you need to look for is the type of batteries that they use.
Right.
They're manufactured absolutely everywhere. Some of the companies will not tell you where their batteries are manufactured because they may have manufacturing ambiguity. So if you want something that's definitely reliable, if you want something that you can charge without it actually causing a fire, and there have been a number of instances where batteries have actually incinerated homes because they've just sparked and that's it, because the battery is made somewhere, wrapped together, and it's not very well made. Ask that question before you buy.
Is that the UL certification? Is that what they call it?
Well, we have CSA, but that's not enough.
Right.
What you need to do is you need to make sure that they're manufactured by a reputable company. Right. So the only brand that I know for certain that has batteries that are named, that have a engineering standard to it, is a scooter company called Unagi.
Okay.
Their scooters are foldable. They're made of Japanese carbon fiber on the handle. They're very durable. They fit the speed rating. In the US, in some places, you can actually lease them because they provide transportation. And it's a kind of a subscription service for them.
Okay.
But the batteries inside them are actually Panasonic batteries.
So higher quality batteries.
Manufactured from a reputable brand that actually makes EV batteries. So these are the same batteries that are inside most high-end EVs.
Nice.
Right? Just a smaller number of them.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go, again, advice is wouldn't go for the cheaper kind of brand. Get it from a reputable company, Yeah,
and, if it's your transportation device, try to make sure that those questions are answered, because you're going to be charging it every day. Unlike some kid that's going to be charging it and using it on the weekend, if this is your last mile piece of transportation to get you from the parking lot outside of town into the city core, and then you're storing it under your desk at work to charge, and that thing blows up your office, that's not fun. Then you don't have a job tomorrow. What are you going to do with this $1,600 scooter? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So,
but
good idea. Great idea.
I wanted one. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a little bit of research and find out which is best, what kind of brands I can get.
No unicycle?
No, I don't like them.
Yeah. It's definitely no one wheel, because they're all blowing up.
Yeah, because I might want to be like carrying some groceries. I've seen some meme TikTok video. This guy went to, I think it was a Walmart or something, or Costco, and he had a trolley of like 5-6 bags, and then he stopped by this scooter. It was a scooter, not a bike, scooter.
Yeah.
And he's got the helmet and everything on, and he's got these bars along the scooter. I don't know what it was for. And this guy drove past. Hey, buddy, do you need help? He says, no, I got it. So what he did was he put all these bags He was wearing a backpack. He was hanging 2 bags. Then he had like a handlebar under the 2 bags. So he had like 6 bags of shopping. And he just went off the scooter. He did that.
That happens all the time in Asia. That's not uncommon, just so you know.
Yeah, it does that.
Yeah, it just looks funny here because you don't see it very often.
Yeah, but I like to go outdoors. Scooters is one way because it's easy transportation. I mean, if I wanted to go to again just regular shopping, small bits, small items, backpack, away you go.
It's a good idea. Also easy to find if you're doing a search engine history on your friend's computer. You can find scooters. You find out all the ones that they've researched and maybe make a better decision that way.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
4th round, I actually left blank.
Yeah,
Because I actually was going to put something in here, but I've just remembered what it was.
Okay.
So I'm going to put you on the spot to pick something. My pick will be this. I recommend that if you have someone in your home that, like they want to exercise, they want to exercise.
Oh, right.
But they don't want to go to the gym. They don't like going outside to exercise. They like to play video games and they like to gamify things. I think that there's 2 options for them. Right. Number 1, they can either get a Peloton treadmill or a Peloton bike. They're on crazy specials right now for the price, but they're still expensive. Peloton is basically the Apple of fitness. So you basically have, when you buy it, they will white glove this, deliver it and assemble it in the room of your choice. And then you get to pay money every month to take classes that are live. Many of them are live. So you actually have people, scary, fit people yelling at you to get your butt in gear while you compete with the rest of the world.
Right.
Okay, so there's actually a gamification aspect to it. So if you know someone that's competitive, maybe they're getting a little bit soft, a little bit of a dad bod, but you know that they love games, Peloton bike or Peloton treadmill. Now, bike or treadmill, it depends on who they are. If you know that they're going to use it all the time for work or whatnot, the bike's kind of hard to do work on because you kind of have to pedal it. I think a treadmill's better because of the fact that you can walk at your own pace.
True.
There's a stand there, so you can put your laptop there and do some work while you're walking away, even when you're not taking a class. So you can just have a chill, relaxed walk without any competition. And then when you put the work away, you put on the headband, you can just go for 20 minutes, go back to work. Whoever you give this to, you're going to give them a quality of life that they never had before because they're just doing regular things and getting fit, getting in shape at the same time. Better than sending them on a gym errand because you actually have to go somewhere. You have to
get there.
You have to get there,
then
right?
you have to get changed, and then you spend.
You have to get back.
Yeah, and then there'd be other people there. There's sometimes on a busy day, it's mad. You can't get on the machines.
And the TikTokers are filming, and they get upset when you walk in front of their shot.
And and they say, "Oh boy, are you staring at me?
Are you looking at me?
Are you
looking at me? What are you looking at me for?" So, if without the drama, having and a lot of this equipment these days, I'll give you a couple options, but the Pelotons, they're kind of big, so you're going to need a space in your home to set up that treadmill. Treadmill's pretty big. The bike is a lot smaller, but the bike is less versatile if you want to do some work at the same time because you can't just put you can't just pedal. It's hard.
Yeah, there's only one motion you can do, and that's pedaling, right?
So the treadmill, you can even walk sideways if you're doing a slow enough speed. You can put it on an incline. You can do work. You can go for a stroll during lunch, even though you're not outside. Okay, so that I would pick the treadmill over anything else. Now, having said that, though, the Peloton tread is really big. Okay, so if you have a small space, there's another option for you that is just as connected. It's something that I purchased recently because I wanted a treadmill, and it's called the Echelon Stride.
Okay.
So the Stride is a treadmill that folds completely flat and can be pushed up against the wall.
Oh, okay. So Peloton, you can't actually fold it away.
You can't fold it. It's already set up. That's why they have the white glove delivery service.
Okay.
Just so you know, the Peloton is about $3,000. And if you want their Peloton service every month, it's anywhere between 30 to 40, I believe, Canada per month for the classes. Probably well worth it because you're just going to get use out of it because the instructors motivate you. The community motivates you. You start to meet people online. You start to see the same guy up there. It's like, I want to beat him. And that competitiveness in a lot of people.
like a leaderboard,
helps out.
right?
The leaderboard is right on the screen as you do your workout.
Okay.
And the instructors will shout you out and give you that recognition. Echelon does a very similar model. They do have classes. In Canada, it's 55 Canadian a month for their all access, including exercises, Pilates, stretching, everything. They even have a section where it teaches you how to use therapy guns, or which part of your body to impact, and they show you how to do that.
Right.
So there's a lot of benefit to their service as well too. The Stride is one of their models which folds up the best. They have one that's at Walmart that I wouldn't recommend because it's not as good. But the Stride is the one without the screen. You add your own tablet.
Oh, you can add your own tablet. Okay.
And then once you add the app and everything and sign up, the thing will start your sessions for you. But it won't allow you to automatically set the speed with the instructor like the Tread does. So if you want something that's kind of completely hands-off, that's what they offer. But the Echelon will tell you, now you got to go to speed 3. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Boom, boom, boom. There's touch buttons on the side. Takes care of all that. It's connected. The stack height is 10.5 inches. So it's really low on the ground. It goes up to an incline of 12 degrees.
4 degrees, okay.
And it goes up to a speed of 12 to 14 miles per hour, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't gotten that fast yet. Okay.
That's fast.
So it's pretty quick. And again, the fact that it folds down completely when you're out of there. The Tread running deck is actually 55 by 20 inches. So it's just 5 inches shorter than some of the professional models that are out there.
Right.
So you have lots of running room. It runs around $1,300 to $1,400 on sale, a little bit more when it's not on sale, but this is the promo season. So that's what you'll find it Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do, just a little bit of running, you can't do that in the winter because you can't, it's too cold and it's dangerous as well with the ice and everything. So having one of these in your home where not just you, but your whole rest of the family can use, right? So it works out pretty well.
Yeah, if let's just put it this way. If you pay $4 for membership at the gym every week, and other people in your home want to go to the gym, everyone needs to pay $4.
It's like $45 a month.
Yeah, like if you have 3 people that need to use it, every week is $12. And if you don't use it, you lose that money.
Yeah, and it's $45 per person. Because if my wife or a family member wants to, I can only have one guest, and that's just one time a week.
Yep. And then you have the time to get in your car, get changed, get there. It's an hour of your time every time you want to work out. Since getting the Echelon in my home, after I fold it up, I pull it down, I put it together. It takes me like 10 seconds. I turn it on. I tap my tablet. I'm already changed. I'm going, right? 20-minute session, done. Go back to work. Come back at lunch, 20-minute session, done. At night, before I go to bed, 30-minute wind down session, done. 3 times a day, that's 3 hours that I didn't need to spend. I can do 3 workouts in the time that it takes you to get to the gym. Okay? And I think a lot of people that aren't aware that these types of devices out there that are at this level exist are really going to be thrilled to know that you care about their health enough to put something like that in their house so that they have the investment that they need to use it.
What I like about the one that you mentioned, Echelon, is that you can actually fold it away, which I think
completely folds away.
Which I think it's really good because not everybody has space just to put a massive Peloton in there.
No one has space these days, and I like the Peloton's great if you have the space, but everyone else on the planet, anyone that lives in a condo, apartment, you want that space. You don't want to trip over your treadmill, and if it's up, chances are you're not going to use it as a clothes hanger. Right? Because a lot of people take their treadmill, and the reason why they're not using it is because they put boxes on it. Oh, I can't get to my treadmill now. Excuses. If you put it away every single time and you pull it down every single time, you're going to be that much more motivated to actually get to work. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my pick for something that I think is connected that will change someone's life.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've just found out something I need actually. You know what that is?
What is that?
It's a 49-inch super wide monitor.
Oh, for your workstation, your battle station.
Yes, not just a curved one, because I think the curved one is great and they look really fancy, especially the Samsung one, right?
I do have a curved one.
And a Zeus one. They're great for gaming, but for people who want to do like editing, video stuff, because I just realized I recently moved over to Adobe Premiere, and I'm on my laptop, okay, I'm looking at the timeline. My God, it's like that. And I'm scrolling with the super wide monitor. The timeline scroll bar is huge. I could just across. Yeah, exactly. So this is the thing I wanted. A 49-inch super wide. A 34-inch is not enough. I need a 49-inch. I have no specs, but they are available. I think LG does one as well. Philips does one. Yeah. They're not cheap, but they look really nice.
I've had a 34-inch curved monitor for the last 7 years. It's my favorite thing. And it's lasted me that long. It's also been a huge productivity booster.
Yeah.
It's 4K. And there are studies out there that besides getting a dual monitor, if getting a curved monitor will increase productivity by some double-digit amount.
Yeah, because
totally
the super wide monitors, you don't need to like have it just super wide screen. You can actually split into three separate, like almost separate monitors. By having a browser on this side, your workstation or video editing in the middle, and a web browser on that side. So you can have three screens literally.
And it's built into Windows 11 as part of the snapping feature.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's already built into as productivity.
Yeah.
Having the screen available to do that actually works out. In fact, you can also do workspaces at the bottom as well too.
That's
so you can have multiple workspaces. If you want to switch to email productivity, switch back to editing, switch back to this.
Yeah.
Having all that in place. But the primary reason why people are so much more productive with two monitors is because they just have more crap on the screen.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
can look at.
Yeah, I mean, two monitors is fine. I mean, if you have a 27-inch or 21-inch, two of them is fine. But by having that's two separate monitors and two separate cables and stuff like that. But if you have one 49-inch super wide, it does everything, right?
You know what? I think that no one would say no to that upgrades, especially if you look at someone doing work already and they have multiple monitors already. Take all that and simplify it in one awesome 120 hertz screen that is so much better on your eyes.
Yeah.
Not only selfish, but also very giving if you were able to afford something for your loved one or your friend.
I think some of them are going for about $2,000, which I think is a good price. The higher end models, with more refresh rate and higher resolution, they probably go for around about $3,000 to $4,000. But that's something I am planning maybe next year to get.
Okay, so if someone couldn't afford the monitor, what would be the secondary thing that you would get them to increase their productivity?
If you have an existing monitor size, so don't get something like, if you example, if you have 21-inch, don't get another, say, 32-inch. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay,
it's just you can have a nice bigger monitor, but then you have an existing which is 21-inch. It's just kind of weird. If you are going to go for it, either go for the same size. Right? So 21-inch, get another 21-inch. But if you want to go for a bigger screen, two monitors, then just get two 27 or two 32-inch. There are some great deals going on in Best Buy right now. I've seen like a 32-inch wide monitor, a curved one, going for like $180. I'm thinking, what?
Not bad. Get two.
Get two of them.
Right.
And then put them, like that. That's fine. But for me, I think one big screen, it just saves a lot of cables.
It does. It's a little bit more clean around the desktop,
and stuff
right?
like that.
So encouraging people to, not only declutter their workspace, but also increase the productivity. That makes a big lifestyle difference to anyone.
That's true.
Great.
That's true. So that's my take for that little missing part.
Okay.
All right. Next one, fifth round. You have something that
I do
on your wish list.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a wish. It's more of a dream.
Okay.
Maybe it's in the clouds. It's a bit of an air thing. But I want a new EV, but it's got to be the right one. And the EV that I want has 2 to 3 rows of passenger space, because I want, my kids to have more space. They're going to grow up to the point where they might not be able to fit into my smaller car.
Right.
That's okay. I mean, they can find their own ride, but it'd be nice if everyone traveled together, right?
Okay.
So, and I am looking at, range is not a big deal these days because the networks are growing so much. But if you just want to skip that stop because everyone's asleep in the car or something like that, or you just want to keep going, I could use a little bit more range. 440, that's about 700 kilometers. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
And I want it to be all-wheel drive in case, we get into a predicament where maybe we just want to go off-road or something like that with higher clearance. And I want it to be gorgeous and powerful with 1,050 horsepower.
1,050.
Yeah.
That's a beast.
That's a beast. And it's called the Lucid Gravity.
Oh.
Now, this is the new Lucid from the people that make the Lucid Air, Lucid Sapphire. They're the brainchild of one of the former Tesla engineering project people, Peter Rawlinson, who was responsible for the Model S in that company. So he's taken that luxury, everything that he knows how to do, and built the Lucid Air. That was his first baby. And then the second one is one that reaches out across a lot of different people in the US, because we're starting to see fewer sedans and station wagons. This Lucid Gravity looks like a taller station wagon, still maintains those lines.
Yeah.
Doesn't look chunky. It looks sleek and sexy, and at the tune of up to starting at $80,000 US. It is the beast. It's got a 34-inch curved touchscreen, curved dashboard.
Now I've seen those touchscreens on a BM actually.
Yeah.
It was I think it was an i5 or i something or i4, but it curves around in the dash. It looks so good.
Yeah, it has something that you don't have on your desk because that's like a monitor there.
Right.
And it's able to charge up to 200 miles in 15 minutes, which is pretty fast.
That's fast. 15
by
minutes.
the time I go to the bathroom, I'm already, because most people will fill their gas tank at halfway.
Yeah.
I plug it in, I go to the bathroom, I come back, it's already done. No excuses.
Or you can go get yourself coffee, because coffee lines are long.
Longer than the lines to get gas or yes. So that's on my wish list. If someone were to gift me one of those, hi Lucid, I would love them forever, but that's probably not going to happen.
Or we could have a week's test drive in it, you know?
That's not enough. I want what I want. So if someone gave me that, that'd be great. But I have more realistic options.
Okay.
2 of them, right? For example, the EV9, which is the Kia EV9. It's the chunky looking
I've seen
thing.
That's nice.
That's made it to production. It looks pretty good. It actually is available for starting at $63,000 Canadian, which is less.
That's not bad.
It's more realistic for an SUV, because a lot of SUVs are well over $80,000 to $100,000. People don't realize that. That's a very good price.
My wife paid almost $70,000 for her ID4.
Yeah, the EV9 has up to 3 passenger rows. This is the rear-wheel drive model, the base model, but it has range that goes anywhere up to, I think it's 340 miles. So it's 100 miles less than the Gravity, but it's not Gravity price, right?
Right.
And there's an all-wheel drive option available in a number of trims that are available to it, all the way up to $80,000 for this thing. So you can have the top-end trim as well, too.
You currently drive a Kia already.
I drive a Kia already.
Which one though?
It's the Niro EV.
Okay. So this would be like
Much bigger.
a bigger upgrade.
Yeah, it would have a little bit more range, but it's also a bigger vehicle. But again, you are getting into another class of vehicle.
Yeah.
But it charges really, really fast. Like this thing will go 20 to 80% in under 30 minutes.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Because it has the Kia charging infrastructure. When they bring this out next year, it's going to have North American charging standard, which means they'll be able to access all supercharger networks.
Is that Tesla?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And, it's one of the options. Now, the other option that if someone dropped this in my lap that I wouldn't say no to, it would be the VW Buzz.
Oh, the funny looking...
The bus, the microbus.
Yeah.
For me, it's not a practical purchase. I don't think I would actually purchase that outright because there's some issues with it. The range isn't awesome.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
It's a fun thing, right?
It's a fun thing for me. If I had, it's like if I had disposable income and I wanted another fun EV, I would buy that.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool. You can take road trips on it, sure. It still charges fast. It's based on the ID4, but the next platform up from it,
right.
Which will go into the ID7, which is another sedan that they're bringing out. So it's many improvements, but it's just kind of one of those cars where, hey, I just feel good driving around in this, and I wouldn't feel bad about having an ID.BUZZ. All-wheel drive options are available, but starting at $45,000 for non-all-wheel drive.
It's okay. Yeah.
So those are 2 options that I would say that, hey, if someone gifted me a lease, I would not say no. Okay, so those are my options there. What about you, Winston?
Yeah, I'm actually also in the car kind of thing. If someone gifted me a car, because I'm not a big car lover. Someone gives me a car, I'll drive it. That's fine. But I think everyone's jumping on to the EV bandwagon. So my wife's already driving the ID.4, the VW ID.4. Mm-hmm. So I think I wanted a Tesla. I've always wanted a Tesla. I don't know why, but I think the Model 3 is more suited for me. I think the S is a bit too big. I don't mind used either. So whether it's used, secondhand, I'm okay with that. I just like they have a decent kind of performance standard, like 283 horsepower. You get more with the full bigger models. 438 kilometer range, and what I like about Tesla is, of course, they got the supercharger network. So that's everywhere, in mostly city areas, right? And if you go out out of town, then you do have stations, charging stations, most places, kind of in towns, right? Yeah. So you just go to the nearest town and might have them there. Price a rear-wheel drive one, which is the kind of basic model, around about 54,000, 55,000. Mm-hmm. It's not too bad, Canadian, right? Yeah. And then the all-wheel drive goes up to 72,000. That's a little bit more pricier for more performance. And, you're getting 0 to 60 under 6 seconds. It's okay. It's not the best, but hey, it's still good. And then the all-wheel drive, you can go up to 3.5 seconds. Yes. And that's like 450 horsepower. That's pretty decent. Mm-hmm. 500 kilometer range as well, but that's more expensive. So the reason why I wanted this because my brother also managed to get a Tesla, right? Yeah. Same model, same Model 3. I think it was an all-wheel drive one. He just used it because he's doing a lot of kind of deliveries as well, like in terms of picking up stock and stuff like that. He's using it for mostly just for transportation, like courier stuff and stuff like that, right? Buying stock and things like that. So he needs a car that run around a lot. And by getting this, he says he's saved a lot on gas. And like I said, there's not a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, I can believe that.
I think the resale value holds its price as well on a Tesla because, like you mentioned, with a lot of the security stuff as well, doesn't Tesla have this like
Sentry mode?
Sentry mode.
Yeah. So if you have one of the things that we talked about a lot is the fact that people are plugging cheap USB drives into their Teslas.
Yeah.
And the footage may not survive because the cabin in the car gets really, really hot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if you plug in something in there to capture that footage, make sure that it's something that you can rely on.
Yep.
And I know that there's a lot of different brands out there, but I was actually recommending, because these were on Black Friday sale.
They were.
Yeah, like
you have the XS 1000.
Right? This little USB portable flash drive is not a flash drive. It may look like one. It's the size of it. I'll just pop this out of the container here. But the size of the thing is, oh my God, like
it's almost like a little cartridge, right? Size. Yeah, it's tiny. Look at that.
It's tiny. So it's about the size of 2 USB sticks stuck together. There's no excuse for you not having a reliable device like this in your vehicle to capture the footage, because USB flash drives, they're great for carrying files or storing them for long term if you need them, but they're not for constant read and write cycles, and they're not going to be big enough most of the time to carry this much data. This can carry days of footage.
It's 1 terabyte.
1 terabyte, right? 2 terabyte available as well too, and they're on sale. Like they were under $70.
It was
right?
$70. I think it was.
Works with your Rivian, your probably your Lucid as well too. But if you do have an EV, actually this is a good upgrade. If you know someone that has an EV and they're using, they use flash drives inside their vehicle, upgrade them this here. Here's something that's more reliable. This is not, when it gets really cold, when it gets really hot, it's not going to fry the flash inside. This is much more durable. This is a different class. This is an NVMe portable SSD. Completely different, right? Same stuff they use in the Xbox for hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of gaming from your kids. Same as in the PS5. This is the type of technology that's there, and it will serve you very well inside an EV. Even the high endurance cards, now since we're on that topic, high endurance card for your webcam,
my dash cam.
that was something that we handed to you immediately because we knew that you had a brand new dash cam that you installed into your ID4, and because you live in the place that has the best opportunities to capture the best accident footage in all of Canada.
Oh yeah, there's been some memes out there.
There's been some memes,
but viral videos of like cars just going into
Tesla's going into
buildings, and it's just
right.
Oh,
anywhere else in North America, you find it here. The best ones.
That's right.
Okay, lightning round coming up. Okay, so I'll go first.
Okay,
for the content creator, in three gifts. Okay, my first gift, Kingston Workflow Station. They didn't give this to us. I know that they're sponsoring our season, and but this thing I love to death. Even before I worked with them, this thing here is a hub dock that's USB 3.2 Gen 2x2.
2x2, okay.
Has a single connection on the back that connects to that connector on your desktop or your laptop PC. Has three docks over here that you can plug different these little micro dual
that's an SD card
readers. You have micro SD card readers. You have an additional micro a USB-C and also a USB-A connector. You could probably plug two of these in here and connect more different peripherals and everything. So it's an expansion hub as well too. I use this every single week for our podcast show because I can stick both episodes in here and grab the files and also the audio all at the same time, archive everything, and have it just safely off to the side, uploaded to the cloud wherever we need it. Okay.
Yeah.
But one of the pro tips here, and I don't even think that Kingston thought about this, is that because all these connectors are actually USB-C.
USB-C, yeah. USB-C.
The XS1000 and XS2000 are USB-C as well too. So if you're pulling footage or you're backing up to one of these,
that goes straight in.
That goes straight in.
Wow.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
So there you go. Okay. So an all-in-one kind of connection hub for your desktop system for ingesting your footage and everything, archiving your footage, data management. This is great. Prices will vary out there, but check your local retailers like Canada Computers, also Memory Express. They might have them in stock. They've been getting harder to get because these are a very good gift for people that just, like you'll see dongles all over their desk.
Yeah, I hate the dongles.
This cleans it all up.
Yeah,
so
dongles,
highly recommended.
Wires and stuff.
Okay, speaking of the XS1000, it's coming out of the workflow station. This one here is the XS1000. This is a USB NVMe flash drive. We just talked about it, but this is a fantastic all-around drive. It comes in 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte capacities. USB 3.2 Gen 2, which is 1,000 megabytes per second, read and write. If that's not fast enough, and this is plenty fast.
Oh, it's plenty fast.
For projects.
1,000 megabytes per second.
This is a lot. But you need something that is dust and water resistant. You need something just a little bit more. Meet the XS2000.
Yeah, this is a beast.
So the XS2000 actually comes, they're about the same size.
Yeah.
But the XS2000 comes with this silicone sleeve
to
protect it.
Yeah.
The inside is actually, it's very similar, but this is rated for IP55. Comes in 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and 4 terabyte capacity. So if you need more storage. I like this because if you're on a film set and things happen, this will be knocked about a little bit more without chance of damage.
It's also faster as well, right?
It's 2,000 megabytes per second read and write because it's USB 3.2 Gen 2 by 2.
Yeah.
And both of these, though, pro tip, if you are using them on set, if you want them on the back of your laptop drive, these are smaller than previous types of drives. Like you'll see a lot of these orange LaCie type drives with the orange silicone. They're meant for drop resistance. It's kind of a gimmick, I think. But you can fit 3 of these in the same space as a LaCie SSD.
Yeah.
So fantastic. So you can have your storage, your cache, your assets all on the back of your laptop, Velcro to it if you want to. Because just stick a piece of Velcro, put Velcro on the back of your laptop, click, click, click. It's all there. And because it's Velcro to your back of your laptop, no one's going to be able to knock it off your desk and have it fall to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my second pick. And finally, everyone needs a stocking stuffer. So if you're a creator of any kind, maybe you're a writer, USB flash drive.
Oh, now everybody needs that.
We talked about this in our Black Friday, Cyber Monday guide. These things are selling for like under $12 for 2 packs.
2 packs of 32 gigs,
No, they were like 32 or 64.
Wow.
Check your local retailers. Best Buy has a whole bunch of them, but even Canada Computers and Memory Express in Canada have had like fire sales on these things. Everyone in your family should have them, regardless of what type of creator they're on, because they just come in handy. And stick them in the book bag. Put them with your students in your household. Give them to all the college students. They will come in handy. They will save them at some point in there. So that's my quick crash course for the content creator. What do you got?
So if you were Sony, not Sony. I'm talking about Samsung phone. If you have a Samsung phone, I think the earbuds Pro 2 and the earbuds FE.
The FE is fantastic.
Yeah,
value.
I think these are good. So go and get them because they're cheap enough now. Probably going for about $100, right?
Yeah, right now, $99.
All right, so that's that. And if you have, of course, the iPhone, then go for the AirPods Pro 2, the new version.
Yep.
And then for a Sony PS5, if you have one, get yourself a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte NVMe.
Like the NV2 from Kingston. Actually, that's one that they recommend for that purpose because it's high speed, higher speed than the PS2 is actually needed. It's 3,500 megabytes per second.
Yep.
It's a PCI Gen 4, but it runs at Gen 3 speeds for compatibility. It's also dirty cheap.
Cheap. So get one of those.
Bigger.
That's for those type of devices for your stocking fillers, I think.
Canada Computers, Memory Express, and I think even Best Buy Canada also sells those as well too. You can pick them out right off. Best Buy Kingston does promos on all this stuff right across Canada, so you'll find similar pricing from retailer to retailer, but some retailers may even have bundles.
That's right.
Check that out.
That's true. And for the family?
For the family. Nintendo Switch is probably your best value right now. $399 for the bundle with the Mario Kart.
Oh, okay, it's not bad.
It'll also give you 3 months of the online service as well too. And it has the dock and everything now. They don't separate that anymore. It's got the dock. It's got 2 Joy-Cons. You can play with 2 players, or you can buy more controllers if you need to. Portable, so it's something that you can take on the road. That's built for that.
That's true.
Rather than taking a Xbox and a monitor and whatnot, you can take this on the road with its screen and everything. It's already set and ready to go in the car, because a lot of cars also have like USB as well too. You can just plug it straight in for charging.
That's true.
$399, not a bad way to go for the entire family to enjoy. I also mentioned the Echelon as well too. Many families will probably enjoy that as well too. That also has a scoreboard feature, and it also allows different profiles for different people in your family to use. So I'll mention that again as well here. What about you, Winston? What's your last?
My wife wants a Dyson hairdryer.
Doesn't every woman?
That's expensive, but if you can get some deals, look out for those. I'm sure there's deals going around. Then, of course, I want a new 65-inch LCD OLED monitor TV with Alexa controls and everything. That's nice. That
looks like it's going to be one of the new Fire TVs.
Exactly, yeah. Look out for deals like that. So that's coming up plenty from Amazon. And, of course, kids want iPads. I don't know why.
They just want what they want.
Yeah. So that's it.
All right. So as I alluded to, this is our last episode of the season. 2023 is coming to an end for us. And this gift guide, this holiday guide, the selfish guide is what we're leaving 2023 with. But don't expect us to be stopping. We are going to season 7 in 2024. And we're going to be kicking it off with a couple of things such as our best of 2023.
That's right.
We're also going to be talking about CES 2024, which is part of the season 7 trailer. We're going to be touching on that and what's to come. That's going to be the first week of second week of January. So that's coming up very, very fast. And more episodes. We're heading towards episode 100, and we're ending 2023 as a top 1% podcast in the world, which is weird.
We got a masterclass. Go watch that.
Yeah, it's the previous episode here. So if you want to get into podcasting, definitely look at that and ask a lot of questions on there. Maybe we'll put together another episode to kind of cover some of the things that you're asking about, like what to do, how to do it. And we're happy to answer those questions for you. And we're going to be around. Me and Winston are going to be around. So you can find us on X at Our Podcast Show, and also on Instagram at Our Podcast Show as well too. And we've got some USB drives, the Iron Key. Oh my God, I have one more of these to give away if someone can write us. Iron Key Keypad 200. Okay. I know one of our friends is waiting. At least a few of our friends are waiting for these to be shipped out. I want to ship them out before Christmas because otherwise it's going to get nutty. So last person to get this, make sure you watch our cybersecurity episode and find out how to win this. you do need to send us an email, but hopefully that inspires you on how to write your story for us. And it's really simple for those who actually have something to say. Okay. And Winston, I think one of the things that we need to do is tell people how to figure out when we are going to launch our next episode in 2024.
Yes, of course. Make sure you click on that notification, because by doing so, you'll know exactly when we will have our new show, which will be launched exclusive on YouTube every Wednesday at noon.
Starting in 2024.
2024.
And also, one of the things is we still haven't gotten any feedback about the new YouTube feature, where if you hit the subscribe button, if there's fireworks or something, or anytime we say subscribe, will it glow a little bit? Let us know. Maybe this is a regional thing, but I heard that that's happening and it's rolling out region by region. Maybe it's a YouTube Premium thing. I'm not sure. But if you see that, drop us a note, because I want to know. Well, that's fun. That's fun.
It's been a fantastic year so far, and I'm glad we end, season 6 with a high note. And thank you to all our sponsors.
Yes,
right?
Because this is our last time together, we want to thank. First of all, we want to thank you for all your support. The biggest gift that we've ever had, the most selfish thing that we've wanted, was sponsors and for you to watch us. And I think we've gotten both of those things in spades.
Yeah, thank you.
First of all, we want to thank those sponsors as well too for helping out, especially starting in and during our Computex time, our first time out of the country. Our podcast show went to Taiwan. And everyone jumped in. I want to recognize ASRock. I want to recognize Cougar,
Thermaltake.
I want to recognize Thermaltake. I want to recognize Cooler Master. And I also want to recognize our friends from all the other companies there that you're just there to support our podcast. You know who you are. And I also want to make sure that Cal Tire gets a shout out as well too, for seeing the benefit of doing podcasting in Canada about geeky tire tech. I know that the episode 70 isn't going to knock anyone's view count off, but man, oh man, there have been so many people finding it via organic search. There's all these spikes all over the like, I wish your views count, but they do in our hearts. Okay.
Yes.
So there's a lot of you out there. And of course, I want everyone, and I know that Winston does too. Winston, you do too, right?
Yes, do, of course.
To wish everyone a happy holiday, no matter which type of holiday that you celebrate. Even, of course, the one with the 8 candles that I wish I could celebrate with you, because that's so many gifts, so many nights of gifts. I'm all about that, all the gifts.
We should have a candle for each season that we've completed.
That'll be next year.
Yeah.
That's all.
So we've like 7 candles, man.
We're at 7 candles now. And we'll be at episode 100 probably sometime in the spring.
Wow.
So again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For a wonderful 2023. And we will meet again, Winston and I, in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.